News. Good morning, I am VC Pramod. The headlines. President Droupadi Murmu conferred highest honor, Companion of the Order of Fiji in capital Suva, also addresses Fijian Parliament. Bangladesh President says an interim government will be formed after dissolving Parliament. Orders release of BNP leader and former Prime Minister Khaleda Zia. Cabinet Committee on Security chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi takes stock of situation in Bangladesh. First multinational air exercise Tarang Shakti 2024 to begin today at Sular in Tamil Nadu. Avinash Sable creates history by becoming first Indian male athlete to qualify for men's 3000 meter steeplechase final at the Olympics. An Indian men's hockey team to face Germany for a place in the final at Paris Games. President Droupadi Murmu, who is on a two-day visit to Fiji, was conferred the Companion of the Order of Fiji, the highest honor of Fiji by the President of Fiji. The President Murmu addressed the Fijian Parliament, where she recalled the 75 years of diplomatic association between the countries. More from our correspondent.
President Droupadi Murmu was accorded a ceremonial guard of honor by the Fiji military force upon her arrival in Suva. A traditional welcome ceremony was also organized in her honor in presence of Prime Minister Sitiveni Rabuka. President Murmu held a bilateral meeting with her counterpart William Katoniwer in State House, where she was honored with the Companion of Order of Fiji. President Murmu later addressed the Fijian Parliament, where she thanked the Fijian government for their support for Aditya L1 mission and recalled India's support to Fiji during COVID-19 crisis through the Vaccine Maitri initiative.
I would like to particularly thank the Fijian government for its assistance to our Aditya L1 mission to place the first space-based solar observatory last year. Our cooperation in agriculture, capacity building, climate change, clean energy, digital partnership, education, healthcare, manufacturing, research, renewable energy, and the SME sector continues to grow from strength to strength.
She also emphasized the importance of Global South, voicing the concerns of developing nations for climate justice. Sri Sai for Akashvani News from Fiji.
President Droupadi Murmu was today warmly received by the President Ratu William Malival Katonewer of Fiji at the State House, Suva. President Droupadi Murmu said in a social media post that during the meet, the two leaders discussed ways to further deepen the India-Fiji relationship. The President added that at State House, she also witnessed the progress of the solarization of Heads of State Residences project, an Indian initiative which was inaugurated in February last year. Following her visit to Fiji, President Murmu will travel to New Zealand from August 7th to 9th at the invitation of Governor General Cindy Kiro. Her agenda in New Zealand includes bilateral meetings with Kiro and Prime Minister Christopher Luxon, as well as addressing an education conference and interacting with the Indian community. The final leg of her tour will take President Murmu to Timor-Leste on August 10th, marking another first as the inaugural head of state visit from India to the country. Bangladesh President Mohammad Shahabuddin has said that an interim government will be formed after dissolving the parliament. We have more from our correspondent.
In a televised address to the nation on last night, Bangladesh President Mohammad Shahabuddin has announced that an interim government would be formed as soon as possible after dissolving the national parliament. The president said the decision was taken at a meeting with leaders of different political parties, civil society representatives, and other stakeholders. Chief of three forces were present at the meeting. The president also said that the interim government would conduct the next general election as soon as possible to transfer power to an elected government. The meeting also decided to free Bangladesh Nationalist Party chairperson Khaleda Zia and other political prisoners. Naval Singh Parmar, Akashvani News, Dhaka.
Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina resigned and left the country in a military aircraft yesterday. Army stepped in to fill the power vacuum. Inter-Services Public Relations ISPR, the Army's media wing, said that Army Chief Wakar-uz-Zaman will meet with the representatives of the students and teachers very soon. General Zaman said that all government and semi-government offices, private offices, factories and all educational institutions, including schools, colleges, madrasas and universities, will open today. The Cabinet Committee on Security, chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, met in New Delhi yesterday and took stock of the situation in Bangladesh. The meeting was attended by External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar, Home Minister Amit Shah, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, and others. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres has said that Bangladesh military and political authorities should work together for a peaceful democratic transition following the resignation of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. Mr. Guterres' deputy spokesperson Farhan Haq said UN wants to make sure that all of the authorities, the political authorities, the military authorities and anyone else who has a say in the current transition work together so that there will be a peaceful and democratic transition. India will host the Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multi-Sectoral Technical and Economic Cooperation BIMSTEC Business Summit today in New Delhi. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar will inaugurate the three-day business summit along with keynote addresses from Commerce and Industries Minister Piyush Goyal and other leaders. The event will also feature several ministers of the BIMSTEC member states along with high-ranking government officials, policy makers, entrepreneurs and industry associations. The External Affairs Ministry said that BIMSTEC Business Summit will bring together more than 300 key stakeholders from across the Bay of Bengal region. Lok Sabha has passed outstanding demands for grants related to expenditures proposed in the Union Budget 2024-25 by different ministries. The outstanding demands for grants were approved after Lok Sabha applied guillotine. The House also gave its approval to the Appropriation 2 Bill 2024 moved by Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman. The bill authorizes payment and appropriation of certain sums from and out of the Consolidated Fund of India for the services of the financial year 2024-25. Union Minister G. Kishan Reddy has said that the assembly elections in Jammu and Kashmir would be held in September. He said the activities of Pakistan and its intelligence agency ISI have been largely curtailed in J&K after the abrogation of Article 370. Mr. Reddy, who is also election in charge of the BJP in J&K, was addressing the Ekatma Mahotsav rally organized by the BJP on the 5th anniversary of abrogation of Article 370 at the Bana Singh Stadium in Araspura area in the outskirts of Jammu. Lashing out at opposition parties, especially the Congress and the National Conference, he said that they are talking about re-implementing Article 370, which had only brought death and destruction to J&K through Pakistan-sponsored terrorism. This is Akashvani giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our X handle @AIR News Alerts. India will host its first multinational air exercise Tarang Shakti 2024 from today in Sular, Tamil Nadu. In the exercise, nearly 30 countries will participate, and out of the 30, 10 countries will join the exercise with their fighter aircrafts. The exercise is being conducted in two phases, which aims to showcase India's defense prowess and provide a platform for participating militaries to foster interoperability. Talking to reporters in New Delhi, Vice Chief of Air Staff Air Marshal A.P. Singh informed that the first phase is to be held in Sular, Tamil Nadu from today to the 14th of August and the second phase in Jodhpur, Rajasthan from 29th August to 14th September.
Exercise Tarang Shakti. This is the largest international air exercise ever conducted in India, with invitations extended to 51 countries, and we have confirmation from 10 countries for participation with their assets and 18 countries as observers, and one more country is likely to join in. This exercise aims to strengthen strategic relations with our friends from international community. Complex missions are planned to enhance our mutual understanding of air operations, air power application.
Border Security Forces ADG Operations Anurag Garg flagged off the first women mountaineering team from New Delhi yesterday for an expedition to Mount Mukut East, which is located in Uttarakhand. The contingent of 12 female mountaineers will scale the mountain Mukut East of 23,392 feet and unfurl the national and the forces flag on the summit. During the event, Mr. Garg said BSF is committed to giving more such opportunities to women and men. He said it is the first time in history that an all-women mountaineering team will scale 23,000 to 24,000 feet in height. He added that the BSF has been promoting mountaineering for several years and many team members have won national prizes. ADG said that BSF has scaled Mount Everest 2 times and unfurled the flags on 48 mountain peaks. In the Paris Olympics 2024, Indian athletes will be in action in hockey, athletics, table tennis and wrestling events today. We have more on this.
Indian fans will be looking to put Lakshya Sen's loss in the badminton bronze medal match and the injury to Indian wrestler Nisha behind them as they look forward to some more action today. First up will be the men's table tennis team facing world number 1 China in the round of 16. In wrestling, India's Vinesh faces Japan's Yui Susaki in the 50 kilo women's freestyle at the Shah Damar Arena. Among other events that the Stade de France will host is the women's 400-meter repechage round where Kiran Pahel will be trying to progress forward. In men's hockey, it's a cracker of a match coming up with India over the bronze medalists in Tokyo taking on Germany in the semi-finals. Savio de Noruna in Paris.
India Meteorological Department IMD has forecast fairly widespread to widespread rainfall with isolated heavy falls over northwest and east India during the next 2 to 3 days. The IMD said that heavy to very heavy rainfall is very likely over sub-Himalayan West Bengal and Sikkim today and over Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Meghalaya, Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram and Tripura till the 10th of this month. It added that very heavy rainfall is expected over Jharkhand, Bihar, Odisha and Gangetic West Bengal today. The IMD has predicted similar conditions over Tamil Nadu, West Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, Jammu Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand today. In west and central India, these conditions will prevail over Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Goa, Madhya Maharashtra and Gujarat during the next 2 days. Meanwhile, the weather agency has forecast light to moderate rainfall with thunderstorm and lightning over Haryana, Chandigarh and Delhi during the week. In Uttarakhand, more than 1,400 people were stranded on the rain-ravaged trek route to Kedarnath and were evacuated to safety yesterday after air rescue operations gained momentum with the weather clearing in the Kedar Valley. Indian Air Force's Chinook and Mi-17 helicopters aided in the evacuation of pilgrims that was earlier being done largely by small helicopters. Disaster Management Secretary Vinod Kumar Suman said apart from them, 584 people were rescued from Gaurikund via Sonprayag and 172 others via Chaumasi. He said most of the pilgrims have been brought to safety from Lincholi, Bhimbali and Gaurikund. More than 11,775 people have been shifted to safe places since the start of the rescue operations last Thursday. And now for a look at today's newspapers, it's over to Shefali Singh.
Thank you, Pramod. All papers have on their front page the story of Sheikh Hasina, the longest-serving PM of Bangladesh, resigning in the face of massive public protests and fleeing to India even as Army Chief General Waqaruzzaman announced an interim government would be formed to run the country. The Indian Express headlines, Hasina falls, flees, Army takes Dhaka. Abrogation of Article 370, a watershed moment in Indian history, Modi, is on the front page of Times of India. The paper adds that PM Modi recalled the legislation passed by Parliament on August 5, 2019 as a watershed moment. And finally, a story in The Hindu says, Baba runs out of luck after 22 years as Chalapati Rao, who allegedly defrauded SBI of 50 lakhs, was arrested from Tirunelveli on Monday. And with that, it's back to you, Pramod.
Thank you, Shefali. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. President Droupadi Murmu conferred highest honor, Companion of the Order of Fiji in capital Suva, also addresses Fijian Parliament. Bangladesh President says an interim government will be formed after dissolving Parliament. Orders release of BNP leader and former Prime Minister Khaleda Zia. Cabinet Committee on Security chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi takes stock of situation in Bangladesh. First multinational air exercise Tarang Shakti 2024 to begin today at Sular in Tamil Nadu. Avinash Sable creates history by becoming first Indian male athlete to qualify for men's 3000 meter steeplechase final at the Olympics. An Indian men's hockey team to face Germany for a place in the final at the Paris Games. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.